So Jane, where are we today?
We're at Monas Hall.
Who are we here with? What are we doing here?
We're here with the fram farmers because we're a supplier of fram farmers, and we supply containers and chemical stores and office units and all sorts to the farms.
So you've been working with containers for around 40 years, is that right?
Yeah, nearly 40 years.
So
yeah.
what's your original connection with farming?
So my dad was in farming, early on, very early on. So yeah. He went to college at Shuttleworth College. Yeah.
So what sort of people are we hoping to see today?
So we're hoping to see lots of farmers wanting to possibly have a chemical store for their chemicals. Chemical store.
Chemical store.
and also we want to see if they want to diversify into self-storage. So we can supply standard containers for them to rent out to their customers.
With the products we have at Billy Box, what specific problems are you aiming to solve for the farmers?
So with the chemical stores particularly, they're not allowed to have anything. If they have a spillage of chemical, they aren't allowed to let it seep out into the environment. So what we do is with chemical stores, we put a bund in them. So
we'll have a look at that later.
Yes. We also put shelving in them, which also have a lip on them. So if anything falls over on the shelves, then they'll stop falling off, hopefully. They're also ventilated and they're secure with the lockbox fitted as well.
So apart from the shipping containers converted into chemical stores, what other products do you provide to the farming community?
Yeah, so we provide the standard shipping containers, but the converted things such as office units, canteen units, so if they've got farm workers that need to make a cup of tea and that sort of thing, or they want to just have a temporary office, that sort of thing, yeah.
Since you started Billy Box in 2012, somebody tells me you've raised around £30,000 for charity?
I think it's nearer 40, maybe even 50. I haven't actually totaled it up recently.
Okay. So what sort of charities have you been working with?
So we've been working with a fair few cancer support in Suffolk. We've done Age UK, Click Sergeant. Recently we've been doing Home Start charity and helping the young families trying to get through this difficult times. We're also doing Suffolk Wildlife Trust. Mm-hmm. One of our ladies, Claire, she goes out and does a day's volunteering work as well, so it's all good, yeah.
At Billy Box, part of your mission is to support the farming community. Can you tell me a little bit about how you do that? Yeah,
so we look at the HSE criteria, the BASIS criteria and the red tractor, and we try and meet those requirements with our chemical stores, making their farm safe and secure, looking after their employees and looking after the environment. And we also support them by delivering containers to their door or to their site and making everything super easy.
You mentioned HSE and BASIS compliance. I mean, what happens to farmers if they don't comply to those things with their chemical stores?
So ultimately they could get rather large fines if they allow their chemical to get out into the environment, into river courses and their land. The government are going to charge them huge fines. So they really need to be compliant. They don't want all these fines.
So what's the biggest difference between using a chemical store like this and just using an old barn or something like that?
Well, the old barn won't have a bunded flooring. It'll possibly be concrete. I think you've got to have a steel flooring. An old barn could be also go up in flames quite quickly, whereas the container has a 30-minute fireproof sort of time. And those are the main things. I mean, also an old barn might not be that secure as well, like the container.
The containers are made from Corten steel and they're watertight, is that right?
They are watertight, yes. They don't want to be wind tight because you need the ventilation going through, otherwise you can get, hot days, cold days, all that condensation and what have you. So yeah, watertight, structurally sound, straight away put it on your land and use it.
So if farmers come to you and they're talking about self-storage, and how do you help them choose between the different size containers? How many options are there?
There's probably 3 options, I suppose. You can have a 10-foot, which I tend to discourage because they're very much more money than a 20-foot. So 20-foots and 40-foots. Again, we try and discourage the 40-foots because they're too big. They're like a long tunnel. So 20-foots, perfect. perfect option, really.
So how much preparation needs to be made for the land if I want to put down shipping containers to use as self-storage containers?
Yeah, so as long as the containers are absolutely level, and I mean on the corners of the container, as long as they're level with each other, there shouldn't be any problem. You can just put them straight down, and if they weren't level, you wouldn't be able to open and shut the doors. So you clearly want it as easy as possible for your customers.
Okay, so if I'm bringing a container into my farm and selling the space for storage, if I buy the container from you, how many years can I expect to get from that container before it requires maintenance or replacing?
So with the second-hand containers, which we don't recommend because they don't look as pretty as a new one, but the second-hand ones last about another 15 years of site storage. May need to do a bit of maintenance, and then the new ones, which have been used once to get in from China, will last about 40 years, we think, because they're just going to sit there. They're not deteriorating really, and again, a little bit of maintenance, maybe a bit of greasing of the doors, making sure they've eased off well, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So we're here at Fram Farmers today, and if a farmer comes up to you and says that I've been considering self-storage, but I'm really not sure if I'm ready for that, what words of reassurance could you offer them?
Well, I mean, first of all, I would say take 2 at a time. Don't take 10 containers at a time, because the idea is really you can have 2 delivered at the same time, and if you open that storage up to a customer, then you can just fill up those 2 containers and then get another 2. So just keep adding to how many you've got, and that's just the easiest way to do it, really.
So the farmers have to buy the containers outright, or are they able to rent them from you?
Yeah, so we sell them, majority of the time we sell them, because the farmers want to depreciate those on their books, but we do rent them as well. So yeah, we can rent them in a short minimum period, 26 weeks.
Mm-hmm. If somebody's watching this video, or there's a farmer here at Fram Farmers today, and they think, I like what I see, I want to build a storage business, what's the first step?
Call us. Call me, my sister, she's works for me.
Sister's hiding behind the camera over there.
Yeah, Claire. And Matt, who's my partner. We're all family-run business. Give us a call, 0800 121 7388, and we'll talk you through it.
Jane, we're here at a Fram Farmers event today, so there's lots of farmers around. What's the one thing you really wish all farmers here knew about chemical stores?
That they're really reasonable price, easy, super easy to have delivered to your site, and we make this whole process as easy as possible for you.
So what's the first step? I want a chemical store. What do I do?
Call us on 0800 121 7388.
Say that to the camera. Hold it.
Call us on 0800 121 7388.